just go say, ah, Uncle dash me money, for that part, we don't have it in US. So if you come with that mindset that you would get things freely, I think that's when they now start complaining that this place is difficult. Yeah, if you work, you get your money, you are able to live a decent life. You don't have to go and buy car from all these people that would have to finance your car. You can buy car from Facebook Marketplace just to get yourself from point A to point B. The truth is, when we came, the car we bought, we still have it. Like, we just have this sentimental attachment to it. We got a Toyota Yaris, I think like 2009, for like maybe $4,000 or thereabout. Something we can just pay, and then we know that we are not owing anybody for car or anything. So, but most times some people will come and they go get bigger cars that they have to be financing every month. And then you have a job. By the time you take out that insurance for the car, you pay your house and all those things, you barely have little. So I just think we should not have that mindset of having anything free. You won't get it. But if you work, you would get what you work for. And if you budget, you would live well. Like, no matter the job you do, you are doing, if you can budget, like, this is what I will spend, this is what I will spend, you will have change. I'm saying it from experience because I've been there. Like, we started from the scratch. So this complaint they are complaining, I don't really know. Like, somebody was saying it's lazy people. I think it's just people who are looking for freebies, and there's no freebie in America. So if you're looking for anything free, don't come. There's no uncle here that will dash you money. There's no auntie that will dash you money, because all the aunties and the uncles, they are working to buy themselves what they want to buy, to take themselves out and all those things. And then about parenting, yeah, I think it's the foundation you lay for your kids. For example, I have families who also have kids and they speak their language, right? That's to tell you that the kids know the culture. If they see a stranger, they will even greet the stranger in their local dialect. That's because you let these children know that you are from this place, and where we come from, we don't do this, we don't do that, and we don't accept this, we don't accept that.
Let me ask you a
If
question.
you
You have a
sure,
teenager.
my elders will be 10 next month.
Leave talking about children for now until you've raised 10 to 23. Because, like I've told you, I have 5 people in the last literally 4 months that have just carried their bundle sent back to Nigeria.
Daddy Freeze, let me tell you one reason why parents are taking kids to Nigeria. Let me tell you one. The main one I can tell you of is that alphabet thing.
Which alphabet?
Those LG, whatever they call themselves, those people. So
I don't think so, though.
I agree with them because they are trying to protect their children from that thing.
Substance. And children not listening. One of the I've forgotten her now. In fact, 2 of the women that dashed me money recently for bad behavior, those kind of behavior way contain in America, but for Nigeria they go flog you your head.
But who they go leave the children for? Not be grannies. Grannies now they spoil children pass. That's the side I'm coming from.
Like that granny.
Because granny they spoil, they pamper kids a lot. So
I was raised by a granny.
Oh, she not pamper you.
No, she's a discipline.
That's good.
It depends on the granny.
She made me who I am today in terms of discipline, in terms of
grandma, no be granny. So, now abroad they get granny.
Hey, grandma. Grandma.
Oh, mama. Some na mama.
But children are stubborn everywhere, home or abroad.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
But disciplines are different.
I appreciate your time.
There's a way you can spank a child here. You cannot spank the child like that.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Do you know that the whites, they flog their kids?
On the bomb. There's a way you flog them. You don't just flog them.
You know what I'm saying this thing? And let me tell you personal experience. So when we just came, I was in the bus, right? And my child, she was just jumping around. And one lady, she was just whispering to me, like, she was like, you know that thing you guys do back home? Don't make anybody tell you not to do it here. Because these guys, because we do it. And then we have a friend who we were just talking about upbringing and all those things. And I was like, he doesn't really know where they get this information of not spanking your kids. You know, don't hurt them. Don't give them mark where it's visible. He said
Sorry,
his mom will tell them to go and bring their size of cane, just like they do to us back home. When they say, if you do something, they'll tell you, say, go bring your size of cane. That his mom will do that. And we were like, so now they do this thing too. You understand? But when we come, because we don't already they put and say they're not they flog children, they're not they flog children. And we act it out to the kids, which now make the kids know that if my mama flog me, I go talk. But when you don't act it out, because no teacher for school go just say your pikin say they flog you. It's when they see your child looking somehow, that's when they start asking your child questions.
I used to shout a lot. I don't flog too much, but once in a while I flog. And the kids were like, you shout too much, it's not good, you're shouting too much, blah, 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 blah. So I started talking. Don't put that plate on that side of the stairs because it will fall and break. They will put that plate there. I'll correct them 8 times. Then one day I'll shout and I get results. From that day, they stop putting plates there. So I noticed that don't flog, ask Baby Freeze. Baby Freeze can be the most disobedient child. You go talk. Baby Freeze don't be picking whether they use talk, raise. I go talk. And I count down for him. Once I don't tell her something 8 times, the 9th one I don't go tell him, I go just descend on him with flog. So one day I even tell the person say, why wait 8 times? I say, so that he can realize that talking is not working. So when I give him the flogging, he knows that then once you flog like this, it's like reset. You they get results. So those people they tell you say to flog Pekin is the worst type of upbringing. Now lie. They work. Just
well, that Freeze, to scratch your back, right, real quick. Spanking kids on their butt here in the United States is not a crime.
Yeah.
However, it is going to be a crime if you get an object and lash it on your kids. Or,
like Ankere Cane.
Exactly.
Don't just leave a mark.
Don't leave a mark.
Don't leave a mark.
Don't leave a mark.
Exactly. And other forms of neglect. She get. So, based on what you said earlier, based on America, as in how people, perspective, how people feel about this country. Whatever you feel about this country, you're right. However you feel about it, you're right. Now, depend on how you come in, what orientation you had before you come in, when you came in, the kind of information you have, the hands of people who
you meet when you come to America.
Exactly. And how resolute you had to change the tide of things by yourself. Only you can do that. Right. So, Yankee, I go tell people do competition like that. If you said earlier, you want to go to Yankee, you want to JAPA, because this one is JAPA, this one is JAPA. You do JAPA for calculated reason. You must have a calculated reason. If you're doing very well in Nigeria, if I was doing very well in Nigeria, like really doing very well, I won't be in Yankee. I'll probably be coming and going and coming and going. But at the end of the day, most of you in Kotawa, most of our people like us did it for the kids, So I want the foundation to make sense. Because at the end of the day, how you raise your kids too matters. It's in your hands. Yeah. That if you talk about, let your kids be like teenagers. Yeah. I'm scared of that line, that stage. And I'm trying to prepare for it because it will still come. But to be honest with you, maybe today people don't send their children go back to Nigeria for proper schooling, proper studying, proper moral upbringing and moral standards. To be honest with you, this thing we're talking about, systemic, is deeper than what you think. Related to prison life, jail, kids, absence of fathers in the home, and single parents raising kids.
I have a contribution.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
When it comes to raising raising children also, one, it depends on the child and depends on the parent. Is the child ready to receive that discipline? I was raised by a single mom and I'm the most behaved on my street. So is that child ready to receive the discipline? There are some children that you raise with all your might, you pray for them, they don't just want to behave themselves. So at the end of the day, it's a choice of the child. Do I want to listen to my parents? It still boils down to that child and boils down to the parent. How do you set up your background? How are they receiving that discipline? Some people say, oh, single mom don't know how to raise children. That's not true. I decided to be decent when I was growing up by myself, even though they raised the standard for me and they set the plate like, oh, be this, be that, be this. Some children, they don't just listen. They don't want to hear word. That's how some children are. So
are you saying
are
you saying in America or in Nigeria?
Both places.
Oh, okay.
You can raise a child very well in Nigeria. The child don't want hear word. You know go hear word. That's
there are a
the
lot
truth.
of them on the street right now.
You can raise them here. Bible, go to church. If they don't want to hear, they will not hear. They mix up with different people at the end of the day. You can't follow them everywhere. When they are teenagers, they go where they like. You can't stop them and say, come back at 6 o'clock.
That's true.
No, you can't.
My mom and dad are pastors that freeze.
Oh.
And I was, back in Nigeria, I was an actor, so
I have a friend here. He is always telling the son to pick pin or go and sit on the wall. So when he got to school, he was, I don't know, he's in Yoruba. He said it to the teacher. My dad is always telling me to do this, do that. They came to visit the father. Like, he's saying this thing. What does it mean? He now told them this is how he disciplined. Don't do that again. You can lock them in naughty corner. You can collect their toys from them. I was not like, they kept visiting. They started calling his friends to know how he's taking care of the children. They go that far.
Yeah.
And let me leave the children's side. When it comes to America, it depends on who you meet, what orientation they give you, how you are able to absorb that orientation, how you are able to live your life. Like, for example, if you want to live in a low-income apartment, it's there for you. It depends on how much you're earning. Don't go and be earning 1,000 and want to live in a 1,002 apartment. There is 700 apartment. You can live there. The food is relatively cheap.
Well, to buttress the point on that,
there is online where you can buy a car.
Yeah.
With little amount of money.
Well,
you must not go and collect money.
It also depends. Like, it
depends on you.
It depends on you.
Manage your
It depends on you.
Yeah, I agree with you. For real, I agree with you.
Credit card.
It also depends
on you as well. Because I collected credit card. I didn't collect from the beginning. I collected because I wanted to build my credit. Yes. I wanted to go to buy a phone outrightly. I bought it out. I paid at Apple Store. One of my friends was like, don't pay like that. Use your credit card to buy the phone, then pay them back to your credit card. Number one, you get bonus for paying that kind of money. You get some certain bonus. Maybe they'll give you $50.
And you're also building your credit.
You are also building your credit. So it depends on you and your expenses.
To be honest with you, it also depends on the area you live.
They are low income
I don't know what part of US.
Yes, they are low income.
They are low income area. If you they are low income areas.
Places there to live with your income.
Those low income areas. I don't. That's why I say I can't generalize. I don't know what states you guys live, but there are some states, there are some areas that you as an African man that you still see the segregation between the black and white. So the neighborhood is different. So the low income areas, if you're talking about $700, I can't even remember. I can't even know any area around me here that the rent is $700 or
that's why most people come to Texas. You cannot start your life living in New York. No, you can't start your life there. Come to Texas. There are places you can stay that are cheap.
Texas
start your life with
they are nice, beautiful apartments.
Exactly.
Beautiful apartments, yes.
Yeah.
So
you guys don't have ghetto like here.
No, we need to learn to we need to learn to start from the bottom. Like you are just coming and you just want to go and get a house in an expensive area, or some
That's what
people
we
even
always
go
tell
as
people
far as
too.
putting their kids in private schools.
Exactly. That's what
You
we
know,
always
and they
tell
are
people.
just coming.
Come
Those
prepared.
private schools they're expensive. When there's public school free, they will give the children free lunch, but you want to do some things just because maybe some other person is doing it and you cannot afford it.
If you're
So
coming to US and you're enrolling your child in a private school, that means you have already bought business here. You're a big boy. You are
no,
bringing a lot of
One
no,
money.